This is 5 Minutes to Change Your Life. My name is Joanne Mallon. I'm an author and coach. I love helping people make wee changes that make a massive difference in their lives. Give me 5 minutes of your time today. Just might change your life. Hey, hello, what about you? How you doing? Welcome to this month's deep dive where we're having a wee look at the subject of self-esteem. We're going to be chewing this one over for the next few episodes. Not 100% sure how many episodes that'll be because it's a big topic, but we're going to sit here for a bit and just see if we can all get our self-esteem moving in a more positive direction. Okay? Self-esteem super boost. Here we go. Now let me ask you, did you ever stop to consider what your opinion of yourself actually is? This isn't something that we really think about all that much, is it? But yet our opinion of ourselves leaks out in all kinds of ways. It leaks out in the things we say about ourselves and the way we behave towards ourselves. It shows itself when we treat ourselves with loving kindness just as much as when we put ourselves down. Self-esteem is a core and fundamental element to life. I mean, very simply, your self-esteem is the opinion that you have of yourself. And we all have opinions about things in the world, you know. Don't get me started on my opinion of people who put their phones on in the cinema and the theatre, because I'll be on that all day. That's quite a bad one for me. But it's an opinion. It's a belief. It's not a fact. And it is something that we can change, like all opinions. Although saying that, I'm not going to be changing my opinion on the whole people who put their phones on in cinemas should go to jail thing. By the way, I'm quite stuck on that one. Anyway, back to the topic. Healthy self-esteem involves having a generally positive opinion of yourself. Just believing that you're basically a good and decent person. You're doing your best, and you deserve to be treated with respect and courtesy and to be valued. And if your core sense of self-esteem and self-worth is good, that's what will help you to weather the times when life doesn't treat you so well, because it'll give you a robustness and an ability to cope. Challenges in life will always come along. And it's harder to deal with them if your self-esteem is already low to begin with. And also, low self-esteem can ultimately lead to anxiety, depression, a bunch of stuff we just don't want. I personally think that cultural background has an enormous effect on self-esteem. And I'm talking about both the culture within your own family that you grew up in or that you live in now, but also the wider culture that you grew up in. So many cultures where having a good opinion of yourself is seen to be a really bad thing. That is definitely the case in both Irish and British culture and in many other places too. You know, in Ireland, where I grew up, you're not supposed to have a good opinion of yourself. We refer to people as being up themselves, and that is a really bad insult if somebody says you're up yourself. You know, we'll say, oh, if he was chocolate, he'd eat himself, to indicate that a person has just too good an opinion of themselves. Because how dare you think that you're a good person, you know? And even though those kind of things, that kind of attitude of bringing people down a peg or two, they are said with love and affection and a real belief that this is the right thing to do. It's not that anybody's being malicious here, but if you grow up surrounded by that kind of negative messaging, it's very, very hard for your own positive sense of self-worth to grow because you're pushing against the norm that's pushing you down, and that's an awful lot to resist. But then consider what happens when you become the grown-up, when you are part of that culture and that norm, and you are then influencing the next generation coming along. If you want your kids and those around you who look up to you to have good, healthy self-esteem, you've got to have that yourself in order to be able to pass it on. The society and the culture that you came from does not have to be the same today as it was yesterday. We can all create a better, more positive future if we want to. So I just want to end today with just a wee test to see where your self-esteem is at right now. Okay, let's just see where we're at. I want you to ask yourself this question. Am I good enough? Now that's an interesting one, isn't it? Am I good enough? Just ask yourself that and see where it lands with you. Because you might say, yeah, sure, of course I'm good enough. Why wouldn't I be? Or you might be suspicious of the question and be thinking, well, good enough for what? What do you mean by good enough? Says who? Or you might find yourself physically recoiling from the question. Am I good enough? And you might be hearing a resounding no in your head. Now, whose voice is saying that no? Whose voice is saying that you're not good enough? That's a whole other interesting place to go, isn't it? Anyway, regardless of where the question, am I good enough, lands with you, I want to encourage you then to turn it into a statement of positive self-belief and to say to yourself, yes, I am. Yes, I am good enough. Now, you don't have to believe it just yet, but I'm asking you to try it on for size and to say it out loud right now. Yes, I am good enough. Okay, I think that's plenty to think about for today. Let me know what your thoughts on the matter of self-esteem are. I would really love to hear from you. Get in touch, say hello, leave a review. We are nearly at 50 ratings on Apple Podcasts, so one or two more would be absolutely peachy to get us past 50, and maybe we'll make 100, who knows. Just saying. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.